everybody. Some of you might know me already. My name is Minji. I'm Student Programs Coordinator at the Department of French, Hispanic, and Italian Studies. And I'm mainly doing advising for all of you, including placement or program requirement, minor, major, graduation, exam related. So if you have any type of questions around French studies, please contact me and we will go through the advising. How to book an advising appointment later on. But I just wanted to let you know that we're here if you have any questions. I will actually let Carolyn to introduce yourself.
Oui, thank you, Minji. Bonjour tout le monde. Donc, I am new faculty at the Department of French, Hispanic, and Italian Studies there since last July. I am originally from France, in Lyon, where we are developing a study abroad program that I will present later. And I arrived in Canada in 2003. I was in Ontario first, did my PhD at U of T, and then arrived at UBC now this past summer. And for that, I drove across Canada. It was very nice, beautiful country. You live in or you study in if you come from abroad as well, same as me. So, bienvenue tout le monde à cette session d'information.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. Okay, why don't we start? So this program information session is for those who are interested in knowing more about what we do as a department, what we offer, and how can we better help you. We'll go through all the parts, and at the end of the session, we will have Q&A as well. Carolyn, do you want to start from here?
Yes, of course. So this is the big question. Why study French? You are already registered in some of our courses, so you might have your own answers, but here's some that we will provide to you, those that we think that are very valuable. First, French is one of Canada's 2 official languages. And we often hear students saying it's the second official language, which is something we hear in Anglophone provinces. And we also have Francophone provinces. They will say maybe the opposite, English is the second one. So there's none of that. It's 2 official languages, and French and English are on the same level. And it's very important for us to remind everyone about that. So you might be in a English-speaking environment, but French is actually as important in Canada. And so hopefully this is the values you are embracing as you are registering to French courses. That's the status in Canada. French, there's also, is part of French language is speaking in a wide range of countries around the world, in Francophone Africa, in the Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, in Europe, of course, Latin America as well, Central America, North America, Canada, and then Louisiana in the States. So it's entering a community, a world community of the French-speaking world that we are currently celebrating. The month of March is always the Célébration de la Francophonie. And this is very important to reflect on that diversity. So there is, this is what we are doing in our language courses. Thank you, Minji or Selim, to activate the slides. So we are offering lots of language courses from 4 levels, level 100, 200, 300, 400, and Minji will talk more about that. But what I want to tell you now is that we are embracing the diversity of the Francophone world in our course offerings, either in our language courses or in our literature, linguistic, and culture courses. So you will hear some audio documents that would be from Francophone Africa, for example, from France, from Quebec, from Switzerland, from Belgium, and we are embracing the variety of accents and sometimes vocabulary. Everything is accepted, not just a norm that is called Parisian French. All right, and for the literature, linguistic, and cultural courses, as you can see, we go back in history as well, from medieval France to contemporary French cultures. And the diversity is shown there. We have experts in Quebec studies, Manitoba, Louisiana, North Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, the Caribbean, and to all France overseas regions, Mauritius, in the Indian Ocean, etc., etc. And for the linguistic part, sorry, Minji, we have a specialist of Creole within our team, of faculty. All right, go ahead, Minji. Yeah. So faculty members that I am representing today as an assistant professor of teaching at UBC, and involved in the program as well, curriculum, and many other innovations and opportunities and organization of events, and you name it. So we are, so lots of us who are coming from a different area of the Francophone world, and not only the Francophone world, because we believe everyone can be expert in the domain they are teaching and doing research on. So there is the teaching part and there is the research part. We all have research that we carry based on our expertise. Mine is the writing under constraints, originally from a literature background, and this is easily transposable to teaching and learning background or expertise, with a specialization in reading and writing skills, and how to formulate instructions for assessments, and so on and so forth.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. I also wanted to let you know, guys, that on our website, you can actually see all of our professors and what are their specializations are. So please visit our website here in the link. You can see all of our faculty member and what is their specialty. Thank you so much. And now I'm excited to introduce our one of our brilliant students and French major, Laura Marr. She is going to share her story about and her experiences throughout the program. And I'm just so happy and excited to share her story with you guys. Welcome, Laura.
Well, thank you so much for your introduction. Hello, everybody. As Minji said, my name is Laura. I am currently a fourth-year French and Italian student here at UBC. And like many of you, I began learning French in elementary and high school. And during that time, languages, especially French, became my lifelong passion. And due to my own personal interest, I was extremely driven to become bilingual. But, you know, the extra benefits, as will be discussed later, of learning French in Canada and being able to speak it really, really well, they also kind of helped as well. But what's so great about the French, Hispanic, and Italian Studies department is that it really broadened my interests and goals beyond just learning French for work. What's so fantastic about the French Studies program in particular is that it's not only teaching the language, but also literature and culture. And I've taken practically all of these courses, so I'm almost an expert now, in my opinion. Personally, my favorite course is French 407, Medieval Literature with Dr. Morin. And I was inspired to really do this whole survey of not only French medieval, like French from France, but all over the Francophone countries. And that's what's so great about learning French here, is that you get this whole wide range of diverse cultures and languages like Creole, from Louisiana, all over the world. And it's broadened my horizons in not only being able to learn new literatures, new language, but the Francophone community at UBC is so warm and welcoming. Through French and through this department, I have been able to meet some of my closest friends, and it's really quite changed my life. I now have job prospects learning French and speaking it, which I never would have been able to have otherwise. I worked as a teaching assistant here at UBC for French 101 in 2020. Yes, hopefully some of you remember me if you're from that class. And it was such a warm and welcoming experience. I loved teaching so much that it inspired me to apply for my master's. And hopefully I will become a faculty member at UBC one day, fingers crossed. And you know, if you really are looking for a way to broaden your horizons, not only for working in Canada, but just for self-actualization, I've never felt more satisfied than being able to speak with people, no matter at UBC, in different Francophone countries, even in different provinces throughout Canada. I have never felt more satisfied and more proud of myself than being able to speak without linguistical barriers. And French has given me so much, and my experience at UBC has been in the French Studies program has been so amazing that I hope all of you can have the same experience. Apprendre le français.
Oh my God, Laura, your speech just kind of made me cry. I just wanted to,
hopefully in a good way.
In a really good way, in a so exciting way. I really want to second when Laura said how language changed your life and change your worldview. Myself as a learner of Spanish and French, it's just changed my whole world. And that's probably why I'm working in this position, why I'm living in Canada. So I just wanted to, I'm just so happy that Laura mentioned all of the, items and all of the things that we want our students to learn and feel in this program. Thank you so much, Laura. Okay.
Merci beaucoup, Laura.
As Carolyn and Laura said, you will be able to develop so much transferable skills throughout the program. And Carolyn, please jump in anytime if you want. These are just a few lists of the things that we can think about. And once you learn language, but also our program offers literature, culture, and linguistic aspect of it, I really hope that this will be able to broaden your critical thinking or worldview, perception of the world, how we look at culture, how to think about culture differences, all the things like communication skills even, right? And again, this is just a list of the very few careers that we can think. Carolyn, do you want to add anything?
For sure, thank you so much, Minji. And as Laura exemplified, I would just point at two entries in the list provided here that are really successful in terms of having job prospects, which is the one Laura mentioned, the teaching. There's a huge demand of Franco teachers who are able to teach French in BC and across Canada. So this is kind of a given job once you reach the level of French proficiency and the level of education skills, of course, during the masters with the Faculty of Education. And also I would like to point to the translation. As it is one of the official language, there's many things that have in a mandatory way that have to be translated, and most of the time some of the translation are really well done and some are really poor because the time and the money put into it by clients, let's say, when it's not the government, is not there, and it might be a Google Translate type of translation, and it's very poor, for example, on products you will find in a store. So that's a terrible example of the bilingualism in Canada. The federal government mandate of offering every services in both languages are doing a much better job in translation, but they are really putting a big budget to that. It's very important for the Canadian government, the federal Canadian government, to embrace bilingualism. What else? Mm-hmm.
For those who are interested in knowing more about career pathway or any type of how can we embrace all of our skills and all of the knowledge that we learn from the program into the real job market. Actually, we're going to have a very exciting workshop coming up in March 31st. We're going to talk about it later, but we will have a career-related workshop for our students, very particularly tailored for our students. So that's coming up soon. And next, I would like to share a video from one of our students, one of our Spanish students actually, but this could be a really good example of how language, literature, and culture education can benefit one's career. Okay, let me play the video. Can you all see the video now? Perfect. Can we hear the sound?
My name is Astrid Kaidapetia and I graduated from UBC with a Bachelor of Arts in Spanish and International Relations. I think learning Spanish was one of the most useful hard skills that I gained out of my undergrad. I think it opened a lot of doors for me down the line. So in undergrad, I was able to go on exchange in Spain for a semester. And then after that, I was able to intern at the Embassy of Canada in Chile through co-op. Being in an environment where I had to just go about my daily life in another language, I think that really forced me to get over the inhibitions and kind of insecurities and just force myself to do it and get better. I've surprisingly been able to bring that into law school and experiences that I've had there as well. So I'm interested in international law and human rights. So last summer I went back to Chile working at another organization that does research on judicial systems and judicial reform in Latin America. As far as the Spanish major, my analysis skills were really built up with my classes, especially analyzing literature and having to think really creatively about things that are pretty abstract, and that skill I find has been really useful in law school. Also just the amount of reading that you have to do within an arts degree, that's actually really helpful. It means that you're not really scared of, piles of reading anymore. So I think there's a lot of value in an arts degree because of those things. I think the biggest challenge is not knowing if what you're doing is what you should be doing and if it's the right step for you. For current students, definitely I would advise to take advantage of all of the opportunities that are available. Getting involved outside of classes, going on exchange, doing co-op, all things that I didn't really think through that well maybe before I did it, but ended up being really transformative experiences. I mean, I don't know what would have happened in the parallel universe, but I'm happy with the way things turned out.
Okay, and I'm happy to share the link if you guys want to take a look at again.
And I would just add that we need to create a video with a representative from the French program. So Laura, I don't want to put you on the spot, or anyone involved in this session. If you want to be engaged and represent the French program, there's an open door.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. So now I will introduce you the program offering that we have in French Studies. So depending on your level of proficiency in French, and depending on what is your ultimate goal with the language, we have two different types of pathway. First is French language, literature, and cultures, and the other pathway is French language. For the French language, literature, and culture pathway, we recommend for this specialty for those who want to develop their appreciation of Francophone culture, literature, and especially for those who have intermediate or advanced level of proficiency in French, we definitely recommend this specialty, and we offer minor, major, and honors. For those who want to develop a high level of communicative ability, and for those who have a beginner level of French at this point, we recommend to take a look at minor in French language. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. So this is the program requirement for minor in French language, literature, and cultures. If you complete French 302, or if you already have CFR B1 level of proficiency in French, you can actually start right away tackling in the program requirement for minor in French language, literature, and culture. And so this 18 credits will be the first part of the courses that you will need to go through. After this 18 credits, which will give you full knowledge of survey course in literature, language course, including 401, 402, and linguistic course that will include French 352 and 353. Once you are done with the 6 required courses, you will be able to pick any of 4 courses from the cluster, which will allow you to actually personalize or tailor your major depending on your interest. Let's moving on to major. It's basically very similar as to minor that I just described to you. You will just be able to have more opportunity to take more courses from the cluster. And for the major, in order for all of our major students to have full understanding of various topics and various clusters, you would have to pick one course taken out of each cluster. But other than that, you can go deeper into one cluster depending on your interest. If you are interested in declaring earners with us, please contact me first, and I'm more than happy to go over with you about your plan and what should we do to apply. But if you have been following the major pathway, which I have shown you before, basically you will be, once you finish the 6 required courses, you will be able to be eligible for the honors as well. This is another specialty that I mentioned before. So if you have just started learning French in university, or if your level of proficiency in French is around A1, A2, or even B1, this would be a good option for you. And this minor is designed for those who want to actually develop a high level of communicative skills. So the required courses consist of language course, linguistic course, and grammar course. But this minor is not available for native or near native speaker of French, or for those who have completed French Immersion 12 are not eligible for this minor. Speaking of our program requirement, we have a very exciting news to share. For the first time ever, we are going to offer content-based course in summer. So especially for those who currently taking French 401 or who have completed French 311 and 401 already and trying to find a course that you want to take in summer and at the same time fulfill a part of your program requirement, this is your course. So we are going to offer French 331 in term 2 on Monday, Wednesday, 2 to 5. And we have so many good things about this course, but as a medievalist myself, I'm so excited to know more about arts, cultures, and society from the Middle Age to Revolution in French. And in a little bit more pragmatic way, this course will offer so many good things for you. First, once you complete this course, this will fulfill your literature requirement in arts. And this will also fulfill the program requirement for French major or minor. So if you haven't already, let me go back actually. So if you have been already kind of taking 311, 401, 352 in order to fulfill minor or major, 331 is going to be a really good course to start tackling the cluster credits. So here we go. So we just wanted to let you know that we are going to offer French 331 in summer term 2. If you're interested, please register for the course and you will not regret it.
I'd like to personally add that I've actually taken this course in the beginning of this year in term 1, and it's a fantastic course. I took it with Dr. Frielich, and she's amazing, and it's really interesting, this whole wide range of stuff, and I would also really highly recommend it.
Thank you so much, Laura. Okay. And for those who might have any questions so far, please use the chat, or we will have a Q&A session at the end of the session. Okay, another really good benefit for those who are interested in minoring and majoring in French study is that we have a lot of funding opportunities for those who will specializing in French studies. So the award amount will be different every year because that's coming from the endowment. But if you want to know more about each different funding opportunity, please reach out to me. And a lot of opportunities are given for our major students, actually. So, so if you are considering major, if you are already majoring in French, please let me know if you have any questions. Okay. For this, I will pass the mic to Carolyn to explain a little bit about study abroad program.
Yes, so I am a huge fan and supportive of any immersion experience you can have when you're studying this a language, a targeted language. And so being able to go in Canada, in Francophone areas of Canada, it's something that the government of the federal government of Canada is providing to you at free cost. It's called the Explore program. And the department, the FHIS department and UBC has developed a study abroad program in France. For us, the attachment with France is important as much as the diversity of the Francophone world. And there is very few, I can tell you that there is very few universities who are still doing study abroad program because of the cost of the program. And so UBC is one of them. And we have partnered with Université Lyon Lumière 2 in France to offer you language courses over the summer if you are doing language courses. And you can have credits for them towards your own program of if you're minoring in language. And we are also developing a Go Global seminar that will reflect on this particular area of France, which is Lyon, who used to be the capital of France before France was France, when it was more Roman. A long time in history, it was Lyon, called Lugdunum, and not Paris. So it was more shifted towards the south of France. And this is one of the amazing leader places in France for the gastronomy. One of the famous French chef comes from there, and the wineries, of course, but also a very important heritage in weaving, especially for the silk industry. So there's, and also, how do you call that, with a puppet called the guignol. So there's a lot of culture to explore in Lyon, and this Go Global seminar will reflect on that, and everything related that you will need to use as the language skills, of course, cultural skill, interactive skills. And there was one more thing, excursions, of course, that doesn't have to limit to the Lyon area, but further, you know, in Europe, you take a train in 2 hours or less, you are in a different country already. So there's lots and lots of opportunity, and I will always encourage students to do at least one study abroad program. The Explore program, you can do as many times as you want. The study abroad is mostly in the 3rd year, I believe, Minji. And the summer school offered by the University of France can be done at on several occasions as well, if you want to get credits in your language courses while being immersed in France. that is an option too.
I just also want to add that in my personal experience, study abroad was just the best time probably of my life, that I was able to really be involved and immersed into a daily life of, because I did it in Spain, but that was when I was able to learn Spanish the most. And I just cannot forget about that experience, because I was able to learn so many good things. So if you are interested in knowing more about Go Global, you can always contact me, or you can go to the website here in the below, Go Global, and you can see all of the program information for Lyon or Switzerland program as well.
Mm-hmm. If I may, it's a very good opportunity to bring depth to your learning of language. A language is a language we speak to communicate, but there's so much cultural background. So a study abroad program is really emphasizing this aspect, which is, I don't know any student who didn't have a wonderful experience as a study abroad. It might happen. We're sorry if it happens, but I don't know any actually. Everybody is always so enthusiastic. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. We have been talking about opportunities that the department provide, and other than funding opportunity or Go Global, we also have an extra support outside of the classroom for those who are learning language, French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese. We have a learning center, FHIS Learning Center, where a lot of peer tutors provide one-on-one or group tutoring sessions. And I invite Miguel Cruz. He is one of our work-learn assistant in FHIS Learning Center. And I would love to invite him to share his story and his experience at the Learning Center. And he will be able to introduce, explain a little bit of what we do at the Learning Center. Welcome, Miguel.
Thank you, Minji, and thank you, Celine, for having me here and inviting me to this event. Yeah, just as Minji said, you know, the Learning Center is a space where students can come to practice, you know, one of the Romance languages that the FHIS department offers. It is peer-to-peer tutoring, meaning that the students, such as myself, are students as well with knowledge in one of those languages. So in my case, I'm a Spanish tutor. And yeah, we offer individual and group sessions, which are free. The group sessions usually involve conversation sessions. And also these sessions are either in person in the Learning Center, where I am actually right now, or through Microsoft Teams. Speaking about myself, my role within the Learning Center, I've been a work-learn student with the Learning Center for over 1.5 years now. My job title is Learning Center Assistant, along with my coworker Olivia. And yeah, through this experience, I've been able to grow professionally, being the liaison amongst students, tutors, professors, and the FHIS department. And it often involves me taking a leadership role with the projects that we have, you know, such as a promotional video to advertise our services, and also cultural events. Last December, we organized an event collaborating with MEXA, which is a Mexican Student Association Club. So yeah, this opportunity has really helped me with my professional growth. And yeah, other than that, you know, I manage the Learning Center, both the physical space and our online hub on Microsoft Teams. So yeah, if you have any questions for me, I'll be around. Feel free to send me a private message on Zoom, or when it's time for the Q&A period, I'll be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miguel. I just wanted to also mention that we have a physical space for the Learning Center at Buchanan Tower, which is 813, where Miguel is currently located, speaking from. And if you we actually have a question from one of our students today, Miguel, if you want to explain that. So could you elaborate a little bit more between individual sessions and group conversation session, and what we do in the group conversation session, and how students can join to the group conversation session as well?
For sure. So basically for individual sessions, they're one-on-one, and you either come into the space here, the Learning Center, or you go into the tutor session on Microsoft Teams. We have our schedule, our calendar on Canvas. So there's a link to that. We can send it to you guys later. And yeah, usually for individual sessions, a student comes in with specific questions, usually about grammar for a certain language, or sometimes they come in just to practice speaking. And yeah, we're able to help them out. There are some boundaries which we call academic integrity, but I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, regarding the group sessions, those are mainly conversation based. So there's usually a conversation leader. For example, I lead a conversation session in Spanish every Wednesday. And some days I bring in a topic, or I prepare an activity, just so that students can have fun while they practice their speaking skills in Spanish. And yeah, I hope I answer your question.
Thank you, Miguel. Okay, I will be able to share how to book or how to see the available sessions later if we have time. Okay. Thank you, Miguel, again. I would also love to share a lot of exciting news that we have coming up. One of which is the workshop that I already mentioned. If you are interested in knowing more about how you can actually strategically package and market your skills that you learn from French studies before you go into job market, we will have a very tailored and personalized workshop for all of our FHIS students. It's going to be virtual on March 31st from 4 to 5. Please register below here in the slide. We also have a QR code for you to register. And in this website, fhis.ubc.ca event, you will see all of the type of the events and activities that we do. So please take a look at it. And the other event, Carolyn, please jump in and feel free to talk about our wonderful dance workshop. Sure. One thing that I will just say is this is going to be in person. Yay! I'll leave Carolyn to talk a little bit more about this workshop.
Okay, so this event comes from the Cultural Club Liaison of the department, and we are offering events across programs, so that links, that bridge the Hispanic, Italian and French program. And so if you're able to see the day of this workshop, April 8th, it's supposed to be a celebration of, it's the last day of class. So it's supposed to be a celebration of another academic year that has been heavy for many reasons, being COVID, being online, being on campus, and what's happening in the world right now, close to Europe and many other topics. And it's very important to find time to celebrate and to reflect and to congratulate everyone to go through or everything we go through, actually. So it's a wellness and Latin dance education workshop, and it's going to be led by one of our alumnus, Julian Montero, from the Hispanic program that is now, here's a career path, that is now a Latin dance instructor in Vancouver. There's also many other events. Minji, I don't know if we are able to share the link for the Centre de la Francophonie. There is, as I mentioned at the beginning of the session, This is le mois de la francophonie, so there's many events in French. Thank you so much, Céline, for stepping in. Many events. We have a poet coming in March. We are screening a movie in the presence of a francophone director, francophone movie. There is a book club with Alliance Française. We have regular partnership with Alliance Française to organize book club led by faculty. This one will be led by me. This is on Saturday morning, and I did one as well in the fall. And there's other colleagues that jumps in, and based on my expertise, it's a change of books. And there's many other events. So we have le Centre de la Francophonie at UBC, who's organizing field trips to theater, to movie screening, and organizing many topics with invited guests, invited speakers. So there is a lot of Francophone events on campus or outside of campus. Actually, it's important to go outside of class, to go outside of campus as well in the real world and practice your language. So this is really an opportunity, and the Centre de la Francophonie is something we are very proud to have at UBC. There's not too much Centre de la Francophonie again in other Canadian universities.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. Okay. This is the last slide of the program information session. So again, my name is Minji, and I'm probably the first person that you will speak when you send an email to us, or when you book an appointment, or when you come to see us at Buchanan Tower, and I'm department advisor. So please, if you have any questions that we just mentioned, please send an email to me, or you can also book an appointment, or you can just come by to see me in my office. I am at Buchanan Tower 716. So please come to visit us, and please come to visit our website if you want to learn more about French studies at UBC. Thank you so much for hearing from us, and I will open the floor for anyone who will have any questions. And if you have any questions for Laura, or if you have any questions for Miguel for Learning Center, or if you have any questions for Carolyn about courses, about Go Global, anything, if you feel comfortable, you can use the microphone, or if you want to send me the chat with your question, I can address that here. I have one question. Could you go over the process to obtain a minor in French language again? Yes, I'm happy to go over. So am I understanding correctly? So we have two different types of minors. One is minor in French language, literature, and cultures. That's especially for those who have advanced level of proficiency already. So for instance, if you have completed French Immersion 12, you really don't need to go back to 101 and start from there. What we recommend for those who completed French Immersion is starting from 401 right away. So for those who have already experience in French, we recommend this type of major or minor so that you can start right away from 311 and 401. For those who have beginner level of French, or for those who just started to learn more about French, let me go back. Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. I would recommend this minor in French language. So for the minor, if you're in arts, in order to apply or declare minor, you don't need to send us the form or anything. It's self-enrolled actually. So on SSC, Student and Service Center, you can self-declare the minor once you have completed 54 credits, or right before your registration period on 30-year standing, you can self-declare your minor or major. If you're in science or any other faculty outside of arts, you might have different process of applicating of minor application. So please talk to your home faculty. but I'm more than happy to go through how many credits you have left or what type of courses you need to take and when. I'm more than happy to go through one by one and with each one of you. So please let me know if you have any specific questions. We can set up an appointment and go through that. Again, for the process of minor application, if you're in arts, you can self-declare in SSC. If you're already on third year standing, you can do it right now. If not, you have to wait until your registration period and you have to declare before registering the courses. Okay. Maybe Carolyn, you can answer this question. We have another questions about UBC Francophone Student Association. Have you heard anything about Francophone Student Association? I see Laura is nodding. Can any of you explain about this association if we know more?
Laura, do you want to go first? If you know.
You may go first, actually.
Okay. No, okay, thank you. So there is a Francophone Student Association in at UBC, as I mentioned, and I'm new here, so I haven't had a chance to meet with them yet. But I know they were, or they are still organizing a regular table française, which is a conversation moment between students, and it's informal as well. So it's not only, all those events are not only provided by faculty or staff, of course. As I said, for the video, the door is open for student innovation, student engagement, like take control of what you want during your time at UBC and your time during the French program as well. There's open doors to any ideas, and we encourage students to take step up and offers ID and organizes them. There's lots of students association on campus, so there's lots to do. Yeah.
And if you're just starting out learning French, don't be intimidated to join, because it's for people who speak French no matter what level. There are so many student associations. There's French or Spanish speakers, Italian speakers, Portuguese, Romanian speakers, really any language you can think of from any country. You'll probably be able to find it at UBC.
That's true. Thank you so much, Laura. And if I remember correctly, I think they organized the wine and cheese event as well, which we did as well this year with this cultural club liaison, a cross-cultural approach to wine culture in French, how the wine is comparing to the same type of wine type of grapes in Canada, and in Hispanic wineries and Portuguese as well. So there's lots of events that are language related and above culture related as well, either organized by the department or by the UBC Francophone Student Association. And my goal for next year or already this summer is to actually bridge events together for sure. Yeah, or participate to each other's events. Yeah. But this is great. Student engagement, yes, 200%.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. I'm receiving quite a few questions about the pathway after the courses that you're currently taking, and I'm happy to look at each one of your case, actually. So if you can email me about your case, or if you can go ahead and book an appointment. I'm more than happy to go through every single case with each one of you. If you have any question that maybe I can answer right away, I'm happy to do that. And for those who have contacted me through chat, I will follow up with you if we have outstanding question left. Any other questions, or any Laura, Carolyn, Miguel, if you have anything else that you want to share before we leave.
Oh, I'd have to think about that. Gosh, it's great that French can really help with job prospects, but don't forget that it also is it's really self-enriching. And I know that may be for a lot of people a kind of little extra thing, but for me, it was really the most important part of my student experience. So I hope you're all encouraged to maybe try some French courses, or perhaps declare a major or minor yourself like I have, and maybe eventually come back and teach or be a teacher's assistant and be further involved with the community, because it's a great community to be a part of.
Laura, thank you so much. I see Miguel and Carolyn. Miguel, do you want to start?
Yes, I just wanted to add that at the Learning Center, we're always accepting new tutors. So, if you're interested in becoming a tutor down the road, or yeah, you can email myself or Minji. My email is not on those slides, but Minji's is just at the end there. You can contact her and let her know that you're interested in being a tutor. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Carolyn?
Yes, I would like to thank Laura and Miguel for stepping in and to join this session, and every student who attended. Minji, Celine, who helped a great deal to prepare this session as well. And I would just want to emphasize as an end word, we talked about career path, and sometimes we don't have one, or we have several in mind, and I'm an example of that. I tried many things, and I stick to the thing that I was very passionate about. So again, study abroad, many career paths, like try as much as you can while you are a student. This will really inform you on who you really are and what you really want to do and what you are good at as well. Yeah. So good luck everyone in your French parcours at UBC, and thank you for joining today.
Thank you so much, everyone who joined today. And because we are running out of time, unfortunately, we have to close the session at this point. But if you have any more questions, and I know that I was not able to answer all of your questions in the chat, please send me an email. You can see my email right here. Please send me an email with your question, and I'm happy to go over with you. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miguel.
Wait, Minji, will there be other